Tanner, push up to the tree. You've been shot in the chest.
You've been shot in the chest. Sometimes what they'll do is if you fuck up, they might kill you. Or Army Ranger School is one of the hardest schools in the entire military. And thanks to the United States Army, we'll be getting an inside look to the early release of the final phase of Ranger School. The final test for these Army Ranger recruits has begun.
So purpose why we have this reptile house is that way we can educate students at the beginning of each phase the different species, non-venomous, venomous, and invasive species they may or may not encounter here in the Florida phase of Ranger School.
Since when does Ranger School have a zoo? Ranger tab equals zookeeper. Put that on your resume.
Full-size gator can bite up to with 2,500 pounds of pressure. So that is 2 times greater than
Is he scratching the gator's nose?
So
this alligator will bite your whole body in half.
Are you doing this morning, sweetheart?
Hang yourself.
So gators can't show affection or anything like that, like most animals do.
It just did. It
so it
literally
really
just did.
How much nose scratches or how much attention we give
This
these
is
guys.
more skill than I've ever
still,
seen any
if they still
zookeeper
want to, they want
possess.
to be-
I have yet to see any zookeeper have this level of comfort or skill. Like, bro is literally, he's having a tickle fight with the alligator on its face. Florida phase. So the final phase, Florida phase.
And we immediately start our Techniques Week. Techniques Week is a 5-day window of which we are teaching our students ambush, raid, movement to contact.
Hey, building's clear.
I like the bush on that guy's back.
The
Yo,
standard
Colonel
small unit
Jones,
tactics
kind
taught
of.
at each of the other
Got that
phases.
shing, shing.
But we are
He be mewing. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys think now, start to finish, of Ranger School. If you think you can pass, and if you think there's a harder school in the military.
Raid is important because there's a few different types of missions that the Ranger students are going to be conducting. They usually conduct movement to contacts, raids, and ambush. And so since raid is one of those cornerstone mission sets that they have to do, we want to make sure that they're training to standard. So then when they get to that,
You know that saw's not working at all. They're learning a lot of different attack methods, ambushes, whatever you want to call it. They're learning a bunch, and they are being graded and critiqued on them. Does that make them a professional at it, though? No. Because it is not along the lines of actual Ranger Battalion. You guys are going to think because they have a tab, they're going to get all the same skill sets you'll get in Ranger Battalion, which they will not.
The next day, we'll start the day with mission planning. So you get a class on mission planning, which you should have already received in mountains, but it's just another way of making
At
sure
this
that everyone's on
point,
the same
everyone's
page,
starting to
'cause
see the
people
light
fall
at the end of the
asleep during classes all
tunnel.
the time.
They're like, we've been suffering through all these different phases. This is the last phase. We just have to get through this. Then you can graduate. Start getting tired, start getting hungry. Army Ranger School is actually a school where your body literally starts to decompose. Your body starts to die. Lack of food, lack of sleep. Like, your body starts to rapidly deteriorate. It's no excuse to not complete the mission. They're like, who cares? Do your job. You know how to do it.
We put them through what we mainly define as severely restricted
Florida
terrain.
Civil
And
War,
again,
baby.
specific
Send
to
them in.
here is coastal swamp. While maneuvering through swamps, which
Remember, if
students
you
will
want to
do
go
twice
through
in a
this, you
phase,
don't have to go to
one
Ranger
Boiling
School.
Creek.
You can just get stationed at Fort Polk, Louisiana, and ruin your whole life. Go for it, baby.
I tell my wife that I'm so sorry that I left her at this time, and I got a baby due in May,
That's sad.
and left her with a 4-year-old.
One of my buddies actually had to recycle Ranger School. I don't remember what phase, and he had to recycle, and that caused him to miss the birth of his child. And he chose to stay and get his tab, and he did it. Let me know how you guys feel about that.
Today, the students are inserting via air assault, and that is to provide them with an element of surprise and speed.
We're going to
as they
surprise the
go
alligators
to
and snakes,
hit
guys.
their respective objectives.
The helicopter ride's got to feel so nice. I'm probably knocking out. I'll be like, somebody please wake me up in 30 seconds. I need this! Field training exercise day
either loved
one.
it or you hated it. The ones that weren't good at land nav hated it because it was impossible to find where you were on a map unless you were, spot on with your azimuth and pace count. You
That
really
map,
had
dude.
to focus on the microterrain. And if you didn't utilize the microterrain while you were there, your ORP was direct line of sight.
Navigating on flat terrain is extremely difficult because it's not like your typical topographical map. You basically just need to set reference points for yourself on a map so you know you're going in the correct direction, even though you have like your preset azimuth and whatnot. But you need to stop every once in a while to like make sure you haven't started turning. Because the brush is so thick, you got to go around a lot of things.
Movement up prior is challenging in the sense of not everybody in the platoon has worked together before.
So as far as spacing, hand and arm movements, and some of their own standard operating procedures might not be well rehearsed at this point, being as it is their first day in the FTX.
Now you really have
Oh God, 240 dude fucking hates his life. He's like, this shit's so goddamn heavy.
The way the Ranger handbook told you how to do it is not going to cut it anymore. Now you need to take all the lessons that you learned in Darby and Mountains and the things that the instructors have taught you from Florida. You need to put all those things together so that you can be successful in your operation. So that was really cool. It's like, that was the culminating event in my mind, was like being able to see not just myself, but my Ranger buddies.
I would love to be randomly in the woods shouting penis, not even part of the course, and have everybody be like, what the f did someone just yell penis? And I'll be like,
It does take an effect on a person's body.
all my boys is caked up to my left and to my right. We shooting guns. I'm watching my boy ass jiggling shit in the woods. It's a great time. Go to Ranger School. He's getting graded right now, 100%.
Hey, where's that? Tanner, push up to the tree.
You've been shot in the chest,
You've been shot in the chest. Sometimes what they'll do is if you f up, they might kill you. Or being like, okay, this dude passed. Now let me really put somebody on the spot. He passed. He's dying. You're going to lead next. Be ready. Figure it the f out and make the whole thing work.
Whether you're in a 2-man fighting position, a 3-man, or you're in a weapon squad hold, or an Apex. And depending on which one you're in, it can take anywhere from an hour to 2.5 hours to dig your entire hole. I actually enjoyed them. I didn't like the digging part, but if you actually built a good shelter,
it's a spot,
you
bro.
were
I would
really
love to hear
enjoying
everybody's
your
technique
life
to
for
this.
the
The way
next
we came to terms with it
4
is if we're digging anything that's like at least a 5-foot Ranger grave, you're pulling security for 5 minutes. I am beating the f out of the earth and digging as fast as I can for 5 minutes with my E-tool. We're going to switch. I'm going to pull security. You're going to go crazy for 5 minutes. And just 5-minute increments, you get that shit done in like 30 minutes to an hour for sure every time.
Know where to put your individual firing positions. That way you can interlock sectors of fire all the way around the patrol base. What we're looking for is individual fighting positions, and for the apexes where we're going to use the 240s for the gun positions to actually dig a proper T-gun position.
The gun teams have it the worst. They have to make the biggest one because it has to fit 3 people.
It's not the Darby phase, it's not mountain phase like here. We want to see what your actual leadership style is and see you be a leader.
So they're like, kind of do it your way, but the way we taught you.
If you treat it real and not worry about how to check a
have the
box
standard
to
we
go,
taught you, but do it your way. Just make sure it all gets done.
Like seeing what a real swamp is as a Canadian, because I had never experienced anything like that before.
I love the Zodiacs. It was just fun. It was a different environment. You got to get people like on the boats rowing together.
First time, huh?
You got pinpointed, like you had to figure
Fucking
out where you were
ass.
on a map, like while you're rowing. So that presented its own challenges, but it was
Ranger
very
School is
out
super
of the
dope, super
ordinary,
cool, super awesome. But
and
this is making me think because of the Zodiacs. I'm like, I would love to see a Pathfinder school video, specializing in like air assault, airdrops, but they do everything. You got to actually be a smart dude to kind of go through Pathfinder. That's why I never did. But it also is very tedious. So I would love to see a Pathfinder school video. I think it would be really cool.
You start reflecting. It makes you think like, what's your purpose? Why are you really there? It's just that battle with yourself. Just can't quit. We did the first
Never give up,
SWAT
never
movement.
what?
I had a 249, so we weren't allowed to wear slings. So I just had to carry it one-handed, basically.
They don't even get a sling, bro. They got to carry that shit. It's going to be so messed up.
Walking through swamps, and I knew I was giving it my 100%, and that wasn't going to be enough. That I was going to have to dig deeper and give more than I thought that.
Just go with the flow.
I had
Turn
in
your
me.
emotions off. Just be like, I'm
When
dead
you're doing
inside.
it, you're just trudging through, and like you just have your rifle trying to keep
Oh,
it above
spiders?
water as well as your
Fuck no,
neck, especially because I'm a
baby.
short guy. So
Yeah, actually, f a spider, bro. Y'all got whole ass alligators in the water.
instead of just having
What is the Ranger
50
school
people
plan
attempt to
if my
swim
boy is going across
a river with
big
heavy
ass
equipment, which would
alligator?
be wildly unsafe.
Are you going to shoot him with your blank guns? Throw a rock? Stab it in the face with a stick? What is the plan? Nothing, because you are dead. You're going to die. Honestly, the instructors are probably the ones who are really terrified. They're like, I'm out here with all these fucking retards, don't know shit.
Looking for in the Ranger leaders.
Let's go, Ranger. Stop leaning on the road.
What do you mean stop leaning on the fucking rope? What are you talking about? That's all you're doing.
Lean back on your ruck.
Lean back on your ruck. Bro, if you didn't weatherproof all your shit, you're FTX. God, we need new BFAs. It's killing my whole vibe. I'm not gonna lie, this documentary made Ranger School look like way easier than it is. I don't think it gave credit to the history of the school that when you've served, you like understand the weight of that time, like what they had to go through. And I don't feel like this video portrays it as well.
This morning, students are planning for their last mission of their field training exercise, moving on to Santa Rosa Island and conducting a raid.
I think Santa Rosa Island is the last like mission you do before the school ends. Can they fail the last island phase? I don't know if you can.
A couple hours left, okay?
Oh, he's trying to keep them
You can succeed
motivated.
tonight as a team, or you can fail as an individual. It is up to you.
Win as a team or fail as an
We want it for
individual?
you. Tomorrow, you got all the deliciousness you can eat. Tomorrow,
Gotta
you
stay
get
locked
fat and
in.
happy, it's great. Tonight, you got to finish strong. It is up to you. We want it for you.
Thank you for being here for 5 minutes, Colonel. We appreciate it. You can now be gone for the rest of the phase again. Your motivation makes me work so much harder, sir. Now get the f out of here. Oh, y'all not even going for.
So just trying to
Oh,
get
they're
from
going backwards.
one side of the sound to the other was my main focus. I'm sure it was everybody else's as well. So I didn't look to my left or my right too often, but I'm sure there was a bunch of people watching, which is kind of cool.
Dude. Zone out, bro.
And this is going to be their final opportunity to get a go.
So my look was at Santa Rosa.
Okay,
Squad leader
it's
in Santa
sand,
Rosa.
bro.
That was
I thought it was
the
snow
final
for a
look,
second.
and it was my
That's what I thought in the
second
last video
look.
too.
Turned
I
out
just
that my
remembered that. I
first
was like,
look was
who the
a
fuck is the
no-go.
guy in the snow with the
Much of
shorts?
leadership kinda
This
like
dude. I thought this guy was being tough and shit. And I'm like, bro, why is there a guy in shorts in this winter? We get it, you're tough. Now I just look like I'm retarded, but guess what? Yeah, I'm retarded.
We weren't able to hit the objective during daylight. We ended up going to lightning lockdown because of weather, and everything kind of stagnated from there.
They stopped because of weather? Oh.
We essentially had a 30-minute window from the weather to go hit the objective, so we just ran out in a file. I was an assault squad leader, so I got my guys online, and then as soon as the machine gun started shooting, we just pushed up onto the objective.
That's so horny.
Cleared a Humvee, passed through a couple of buildings.
I'm seeing some going through the motions under nods.
It was a lot more chaotic because we only had that 30-minute window, so instead of doing a little more deliberate
God,
step-by-step
being the
follow the plan
non-assaulting
kind of thing,
squad
it was
would be
just-
so nice, bro.
After Santa Rosa, once you got on the bus and you got shipped back to Eglin, everybody was racked out on the bus. We were just trying to get sleep. We got back at like 2300, something like that. It was pitch black. We were trying to turn in equipment, get piers done. I didn't really think it was on many people's minds that night. You know, people.
Oh my God,
really just
they're
wanted to rack
so
out.
checked out. I feel like they're just trying to take that last big final breath before complete. I don't even think it's kicked in. Like, I'm pretty sure like they're done.
But the following morning, everybody was extremely stressed. You could tell, waiting to hear the results.
Oh, of who passed Newfield. Shit, long story short, you're going to get your paperwork and all that shit. And if you pass Ranger School, you get a cool little card that goes like in a vault for all of history and time so they can honor the fact that you have a tab. Lightweight kind of scary.
To a tan, son.
Your first look as Assault 2 squad leader, you received a no-go. Your second look as Assault 1 squad leader, you received a go. At the time, you were recommended for graduation. Do you have any questions?
This was actually the worst part of Ranger School for me. When we were all waiting for our goes, they pulled me and one other guy aside and took us to like where the no-goes were being staged, and then they'd like call someone in and they'd do their interview, and then the dude would walk by us, you know, and be like, I just got peered, and that's it. They just walk by and like go like cry over there.
Go cry. Hey, this that sauce we've been waiting on. This is what I want to see. I guess I just want people to see the things we're actually crying about. Bro has been going at it for like 3 months at this school, and to get dropped via peers and then have to redo it is so disheartening.
And then the platoon started the Ranger Creed without me.
The Ranger Creed! The Ranger Creed!
I was like, I'm screwed. There's no way. I was like, I just failed. I really can't believe this.
Tell me!
And then as soon as they finished the Ranger Creed, then the RIs came up to me and the other guy. They're like, Rangers, what are you doing over here? Like, you told us to come over here, sorry. Like, no, we're just messing with you guys. We do this every cycle. Go regain your platoon. That was a tough one. Not cool.
Oh, they're just f***ing with it. That's so funny. 189. Damn, but then real Army Rangers show up.
Students. We thank you for these graduates. We thank you for the family.
Even though half of them are in the course already, so.
And Father, one day, we may be called to spill our blood on the battlefield. Every generation must put a down payment to finance freedom. Give us strength and courage to do such.
On God. Blood must be spilled. This is the Ranger way.
To the graduates of Class 522, your journey of consistent, demonstrated excellence starts.
And to put it in perspective for y'all, for Ranger Battalion, this is just the standard. This is like a basic level thing. They're like, go get your Ranger tab if you want to stay in Ranger Battalion to become like an NCO and shit. Which is good. Standards are good, people.
I knew he wanted to go to Ranger School. I was like, you have to go now before little Miss is born. So I was like, you need to do it now. Get it over with.
I don't even know this guy. I think he's my dad.